Hi everybody, it's Bonkai922 here. It is time. Fairy Tale chapter. Everyone, okay, yeah, we remember what happened last week, right? I was in despair. This week, and I'm gonna do it a little bit differently. There was a lot of pages in this chapter, so I'm gonna do it a little bit differently. The beginning of this, I'm actually just going to say my thoughts, what I thought of the chapter, my rating, and what I thought about other things that happened in the chapter. Now, right off the bat, we find out what their abilities are, Sting and Rogue. Now, I'm actually surprised to a degree. To a degree, I'm surprised. By the way, might as well just say it. I'm giving this chapter 4 out of 5 because it was good. It was a whole lot better than last week. A whole lot better than last week's. I still have my distaste for Sting, unfortunately. I know. You're Bonk. The people are gonna probably say, Bonkai, why do you hate Sting so much? This time, though, I'm going to say this: his abilities. Good abilities. No. Honest to God, I like what his abilities are. I thought, holy shit, this is pretty fucking awesome. So, but I like Rogue's a little bit better. Because, as we find out in this chapter, it's white and shadow. Shadows. We find out it's white, which seemingly is light. I think that's where we're going with here. Which kind of makes sense because you look at Rogue, and he's dark and emo-ish. And when you look at Sting, he's very happy most of the time. He's laughing, he's laughing. Anyway, moving on along. So you figure that's what it was. Now, 4 out of 5. Their abilities, kick ass. I really enjoyed it. It was really awesome to see those abilities, especially when they went into this vortex, white vortex, I think it was still called. And dark vortex. But as I go along with this review, I will let you guys know if that's correct or not. And obviously, there's that. What I thought of that. And their ability. I liked Sting's ability, this thing called Stigmata that he put on Natsu. I thought that was interesting with what was going on there. But obviously, Natsu and Gajeel just shrugged it off. But I'm going to say it right now, and I will probably say this towards the end of the chapter. There is a problem. There's a big problem. I have a big problem with Sting. It's the same problem that has been going on in Fairy Tale since the beginning, which is the whole power of friendship. When Sting, at some point during this fight, Sting knocks down and Rogue's down and it looks like Sabertooth's going to lose, and they get back up and he says, he's saying, I'm going to do this for LECTOR. Now, at first, I didn't know who LECTOR was. I'm going to say it right now before I get into exactly what happened in this chapter. LECTOR is his cat! The cat! The cat. The cat. So, where are we going with this? Just so everyone know. If Sting wins, and Sting and Rogue wins this match, and the reason why Sting wins is because I'm doing it for LECTOR, no. None of that. If he wins this match, I want it to be because he has this power, this no one's spoiled, but yeah, that's what it was. It was this technique called Dragon Force. And also, I want to bring up something else. Might do another video on this. Do you guys remember when Natsu was fighting Zero from Racing Sace back in the Nirvana arc? Remember that fire that Gajeel gave him, and he ate it? And there was a dragon. He had the flames were in the shape of a dragon. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's 100% accurate to say that that's Dragon Force. But I'm just saying. But anyway, like I said, it will be a problem it will be a problem if he wins because of his cat. Because then you're saying to yourself, wait a minute, I thought Sabertooth was supposed to be, the strongest guild. We don't care about our comrades. Then why are you fighting for your stupid cat? Like I said, and by the way, the next chapter is called Lector and Sting. That's my only beef. So let's move on. So basically the chapter starts off Natsu and Gaji are ready to go in. They're going in. Gong. Markov said a few things, saying, inspiration speech there, and Gemma said, oh, the boy Fury. Gemma's getting a little bit arrogant. Minerva too. I think what happens is that Sting's arrogance, it spreads. But I digress. So they move in, and then Natsu, and once the bell rung, boom, go right in front of Sting and Rogue, punch the hell out of him. Just one huge fucking punch. And I'm like, holy shit, and they just beat the shit out of them. I'm like, where is this coming from? And then eventually, Sting brings out, he says, White Dragon Roar. And it's like, at first I thought it looked like a laser. It's like, laser! Like a laser coming out of his mouth. And it was going, and it was like, holy shit, hero. That's pretty fucking cool. I thought it was cool. I thought it was awesome, that part. And then, as I'm looking at it, what's his face? Yeah. Rogue, he brings in a Shadow Dragon Slash. Yeah, Shadow Dragon Slash. And then, obviously, Gajeel, he comes back with the sword, throwing him back. Then, what ends on happening is, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, just taking real quick, taking a look, Natsu comes out of nowhere and just grabs both of them and throws them. I'm like, the fuck? And eventually this leads them to doing, and I apologize, but I forgot the name of it. But they do this white, like I said, white void. Oh yeah, Natsu did a flame dragon's wing attack, slash attack. He's like, what's going on here? Sticking around, getting pressed. Everybody's going on about it, And then they bring out White Drive. That's what it was called, Drive. White Drive, Shadow Drive. And it was basically, I think it was Mavis. She was saying it was called, it was basically an amplifier. It was an amplifying magic that they did. And now they said, oh, we're going to use now the attacks that kill dragons. Now, moving right along, they're going to use it, blah, blah, blah. He says, let's go. And once again, I need to illustrate Gemma. It's over, Garbage Guild. Well, guess what? It's not over because it didn't do anything. Yeah. So, they go in, ready to go, and it seems like that Natsu's getting pummeled, and so is Gajeel, and I love Rogue in this chapter. I really do. Oh my god. There's this one scene, I think it's on page... What page? 25 on Manga Stream. The page where you see Rogue, and you see his eyes. Oh my god. That was sick. I really like Rogue. I like Rogue. I'm a shadow guy. I like the shadows. I like light, but I like the shadows better. because, you know, I think he's just whole thing is just insane. So, you know, pretty fucking awesome there. So, and he's like saying, oh, your shadows cannot be captured, moving right along. And basically, I think it was Mavis, a magic amplification technique. I think it's amplifying, it amplifies their magic. So there's a passage out as time, the white dragon's claw, body marked by its stigmata, has its freedom taken away. The white dragon's claw. That's supposedly it's supposed to be a holy attack. So we're going into like, you know, almost like the white dragon is supposed to be like a god in a way, you know, holy magic on it. And this absolutely does nothing. Gajeel grabs Rogue, and I believe he throws him or kicks him and beats the shit out of him. And that he does this one move, and I'm just going to just briefly go here again and just tell you what happens. One move that Sting does is you know, he does this thing with the white void, and I mean, it burns away. He does this white void attack, I believe, and it does nothing. He does this white void attack, and he just grabs it, and it's like nothing. Let me just check to see. He also they were beating the shit out of him after they tried to. He says, "Don't look down on Fairy Tail," you know, and he's just getting their asses handed to him. Will even turn, and then he says he uses a secret art. A white dragon's fist will even turn flames to ash. Holy Nova, it was called. And it did absolutely nothing. Nothing. Both attacks that Sting used on Natsu did absolutely nothing. Nothing. But like I said before, you know, this is Fairy Tail dominance. Midoshi. So moving right along, and it seems like Natsu's just standing there. The stupid cat. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it again. If Sting wins because of his stupid cat, LECTOR, he's thinking about him. So, that's the only thing I want to say about that. And then, obviously, it does nothing. They get beaten to a very fine powder. Oh, dominance, Fairy Tail, you know the story. It's end like this. And that's we go up to the page where Sting gets up and he says, "I can't lose for the sake of LECTOR." And you see a clip on that page where LECTOR is the cat. Really? And like I said before, I thought Sabertooth they don't take care of their own. I thought they don't do that. I thought they don't. So what's this shit about? Huh? What's this shit about? Sting? You weren't too happy. You were laughing your ass off when Lucy got her ass kicked. And now you have, like, this duty for this cat? And then we're moving on from there, and we get to the final page, and, you see Rogue. There's like the darkness is coming on his skin. And you see Sting at the same time. He's got whiteness coming on. I remember what I said. And there's another thing I want to bring up on this piece of paper I wrote. It's run backwards. I'm sorry about that. Arrogance, the line between arrogance and confidence. Minerva says a few things on this last page. Says, before the final form of Dragon Slayer magic, Natsu, Gajeel, and the First Master are put to the test. The next chapter is going to be called Sting and Lector, and we have a few quotes from people. Gajeel says something. He says, what is this magic? Makarov says, what is this? This is... And then, Minerva says, quake before the power of the third generation. Getting a little arrogant. And this is what I'm talking about when I said about Natsu. Remember the whole thing with Zero during the Nirvana arc? Listen, I'm going to tell you right now what Gajeel said. He said, impossible. They can activate it of their own free will. And then you see the last part of the page says, Mava says, Dragon Force. So yeah, 4 out of 5. And this is the last thing I wanted to ask you people. I believe, not 100% on this. The quote that Gajeel said stuck with me. For some reason, that last page, what he said, has me thinking, wait a minute. He says they're able to invoke it on their own. He said it. Nobody else. I mean, Mavis said, what did she say? I forgot what she said. She said, Dragon Force. Mavis said Dragon Force. Makarov said, this is... But Gajeel said they can invoke it on their own. Impossible. They can invoke it on their own. And I'm going to end this review with this question. I have a feeling that what this Dragon Force is this. Okay, imagine this if you will. Sting. The whiteness of his energy, of his force, of his energy, is going to form around him, and it's going to form a dragon. Rogue, same thing. The shadow is going to creep on his body, and it's going to form a dragon. Now, the reason I bring this up, like I said, time to rewind our brain. Back to the Nirvana arc. Go back and watch that. Go back to the part where Gajeel was he was going to where Natsu was. Remember that device they were going to use to destroy Wendy's guild? And they were going to try to stop Zero, and Natsu began to fight Zero, and then Gajeel showed up, and Gajeel gave Natsu this golden flame. Remember what happened to Natsu when he was... the flames were going off, and he was in the form of a dragon? That, I want to say partially, is Dragon Force. So I'm going to end this review with that question. Do you believe in that theory? Or do you have all your own theories of what Dragon Force could be? Because I believe that's what it is. If this is a power used to kill dragons, it has to be superior enough. Because if it's not, and Natsu and Gajeel can beat Sting and Rogue easily, then it's just a bunch of hot air. So I believe that Dragon Force is something that I guess Natsu and Gajeel, we don't know. But Natsu's used it before, I believe. But he has no full control over it. Now, what are your thoughts? Do you think that's what it is, Dragon Force? It's actually a physical manifestation around their bodies of a dragon? Like a white dragon and a shadow dragon? Or is it something else? Comments below, tell me what you guys think. Oh, by the way, like I said before, Sting and Lector? No. You're not, that's no reason to have Sting win this. No comment of saying, oh, I'm doing this for Lector. No. Okay? He's a stupid cat. Who cares about your cat? Okay? If you're winning it for the guild. Because you're fucking Sabertooth. No, this horse shit of my friend is a cat. No, that part was just like, no. Because then you're just as bad as Fairy Tail. But like I said before, Dragon Force. Manifestation of a dragon around the actual Dragon Slayer. That's what I believe Dragon Force is. This has been Bankai Naitoi 2. Pretty damn good chapter. We will see next week. See you guys later.